am very excited as well to welcome Guldborg back to the caster desk. It's been a while, mate. I had to walk you through all of our gadgets and gizmos.
And I'm so happy you did, because last time I think I was next to you was MSI 2023, and you kept muting me instead.
That's true. We were on the AD at that point, though.
That's very true. Now I'm on your territory.
That is true. Hopefully I don't mute you too many times today, but we'll see as we get on into the draft for game one of the day. Officially the halfway mark of the LEC Winter Best of Ones. I was going to say winter season, but it's not. Obviously, we have best of threes, we have playoffs, etc. But the best of ones after today, everyone will have played 5 games. GIANTX currently looking near the top of the table at 3-1. Obviously, a disappointing loss for them yesterday, but we'll see if they can bounce back with a win here against Heretics.
Yeah, and straight off the bat from GX, I actually really like that Syra ban. I think Sheo really got enabled when he was playing a Syra into a Sejuani. The fact that he was allowed to full clear and dictate the pace of the game with his own jungle clearing really helped Team Heretics to be more comfortable that your veteran player was the one with resources that could dictate some of the fights.
And it is interesting because when we saw Sheo on BDS, they had it was at the start of summer last year, they had a long time where they were experimenting with these AP jungles and it never really clicked for them then. But it did seem yesterday, as you say, that it really clicked for Heretics, although their early game not as good as perhaps it could have been.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were a jungler last year and you didn't know how to play AP junglers, you're probably doing your job wrong at the same time. So, I mean, Kalista coming out here as well. I think Viktor has probably been one of the most red side bans. He did see some changes on the patch, but yesterday we still saw teams ban it, so I'm expecting it to come out as well here.
Yeah, already got the Skarner and the Rumble off the boards there. Lots Rumble, obviously very strong. We saw Finn talking about it a little bit ago. The Zyra, the Maokai, and the Kalista bans away from GX.
Oh, wow.
Sejuani will be the final ban, so that Viktor is available, as you say. Did have a bit of a love tap on the latest patch, 25 S1.2-C subsection 16.420 blaze it, but he's still pretty strong overall. It's the Viktor. Cassante though, the first lock here, and the crowd goes mild for it, I'm going to be honest. I don't blame them. Cassante not the most exciting thing to see first picked on blue side.
No, but I will say it's definitely been Carlsen's most comfortable champion so far, and taking it away as a takeaway is still completely fine. I mean, Corki and Viktor is available. Varus is available. There's so many power picks left available because of the Rumble and the Sejuani ban on red side.
Yeah, Corki already locked in for Heretics. Can go mid, can go down towards that AD carry role. We've also seen a rise of Smolder mid happening over the last day as well. A couple of times played yesterday. With the Infinity Edge changes, seems to have just come up in a few more people's minds, because it's not always Infinity Edge we see being built on him. He's still just a strong pick if he can scale.
And now the question is, I mean, we know where Viktor is going, unless they're actually confident in playing that Viktor bot. But for now, let's say it's going mid. I mean, you still have the option of Varus, you still have Ezreal for now. He's been a monstrous Ezreal as well. And I think so far, there's not really too much lockdown. So if Jackie's, again, wants to skill check mid lane, Akali is an option. But there we talk about lockdown, we get that buy, and that talks about all in. You still have options available.
Yeah, there's a lot of power already in this GIANTX composition. Front to back looks very strong. Varus plays into that as well. Noah's Varus very powerful. Saw it at the finals last year against G2 as well, if I recall properly. And you just got great lockdown already coming out from GIANTX. Heretics on the other side, AD carry locked in, mid locked in. Probably looking to jungle here, because otherwise that pool is going to get very pinched going into phase 2. But Ambessa has been left available. Pick Ambessa, ban Poppy. Seems like it's a possibility.
It does, and I'm actually really excited about this. Carlsen, if you didn't follow him in ERLs, I mean, he did play the Cassante and all the normal boring top laners that you're used to, but he was actually really good at Kamiloo. One of the strengths that he brought was that you can play him as a strong sider. I'm curious to see how he's going to do with this Ambessa, because in lane, Ambessa has had the edge on Cassante.
He's had one game so far in the LEC where he has been strong-sided, that Jax game where they just constantly ganked him, and he got ahead and was able to pick up the win. I wonder how much you can strong-side him when you have a Viktor in mid who, if his flash is burnt early, you do need to pay some attention there, and a Corki in bot lane who can really snowball the game if he gets ahead. We'll have a look at it. The Poppy actually banned away by GIANTX themselves, which is slightly surprising, although with a Vi and a Cassante, Poppy does work well into those.
But I will say, I'm surprised we're not seeing a Taliyah ban here. You got the Corki, you got the Ambessa, you got Vi already on GX, so just slamming that Taliyah would be super plug and play, and you just have a good pick composition, and you got pretty good amount of range to play around with yourself.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there, Guldborg. Taliyah, Vi as well, such such good lockdown against a low mobility mid laner in the form. What's up? Are you giggling at me? What am I doing wrong, Mikkel?
I just love hearing you, so that just makes me happy, you know?
I'm
just smiling.
That, the TikTok stream can see all of these behind the scenes antics that we're going through right now. Obviously no one else can, and you should be thankful for that. Sheo picked up by Heretics once again. Very heavy skirmish, lots of damage in this composition so far. Looks like they are leaving their support for last.
And I mean, Jun so far has been such a good support. I mean, he's been a joy to watch. His Rell has been fantastic. You can throw him on the AD start, any engage, and this guy, he will set you up for success. I mean, my big question is just, Jackies, if you're not playing Talia here, what are we actually looking for in the mid lane? He had to play some, Azir in the past, but I wonder what's going to synergize best with the composition that they currently have.
It looks like Azir is their current thought process. Alongside the Rell, once again, just good team fighting. You've got good range. You have a lot of poke as well with the Varus as you get into team fights. And Heretics aren't the tankiest of fellows so far. Xin, when he's got the Crescent Guard down, obviously a lot more tanky, but he has to burn his ultimate to do that. So looks like GIANTX are playing more of the range game with the option to engage through the Rell or through the Vi, whereas Heretics, they do have a bit of range on their sides. Death Ray from Viktor can put a bit down. Obviously the Corki as well has those missiles, but if they can get up close and personal, they have a huge amount of burst potential.
And I mean, it is going to be the Renata, so not the likes of Alistar or anything like that for the matchup against the Rell to disengage, but you're actually getting a little bit of disengage as soon as that Vi come in. And honestly, I kind of like it, especially if we're seeing the on-head Varus, if we see Azir with the attack speed, and if these champions getting locked down, it's a lot easier to follow through with that Ambessa ultimate, with Viktor on the range and Corki to dive in at the right moment.
We'll see how Heretics are able to pilot this composition as we get on into the game. Having a look across them, we've kind of gone over how the two teams want to fight, but are there any key focuses you think through the early game here, Mikkel, that we should keep our eyes on?
Yeah, I mean, I think early game-wise, Zhao definitely has room to make some plays before that Vi hits level 6. That's crucially where she becomes a bit of a nuisance. But, I mean, my main worry right now is just the lack of engage from Team Heretics, I suppose. You have that Renata ultimate, you have the Ambessa ultimate, you have Zhao, but none of it's this big team fight engage that you usually think about. So I think that's where GX is probably going to have an easier time.
It does make sense. Vi just presses R on someone and you go in. Rell does a very similar thing.
It is quite easy, I'll give you that.
Yeah, and you've got Chain of Corruption, you've got the Azir for follow as well. So the simplicity of the composition coming out from GX definitely in their favor, but a lot more skirmishing, a lot more high damage in the early game, in my eyes, at least from Heretics. Ambessa can put out a lot, Zhao the same. If you get on top of someone, they are going to struggle to escape from you.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do wonder who you play around, because it's not the best setup that you currently have, right? I mean, Noah, if he gets caught by a Renata Q down in bot lane, I'd say that would be a huge mistake by Noah. So I think as long as the jungle tracking is decent, I mean, Sheo's amount of play potential can be a bit limited unless you're looking to gank as a Cassandra.
And let's get into it. First game of week 2, day 2 here in the LEC. The start of the halfway mark for all of these teams. GIANTX come out to a very strong start, and it's a pause. It is a pause.
Oh, I'm excited for this. You guys get that bar now.
Yes, we do get the bar. And now that you've called it out, this is the one time it won't come up on the screen. Never mind, there we are. An investigation is in progress. There's a pause reported by League officials. League officials are now gathering information on it. So the bar is there. Not the most informative bar we've ever had.
No, but I love it. It's my favorite change.
It is great that it comes up so quickly. Great work by the League officials and the graphics team to make sure we have those coming up. And the play looks like it's going to resume in 2 seconds anyway, so we didn't need any more information because we're going to get right back on into the action.
Yeah, but you got that information all along the way, and how nice was that? It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Have you been working backstage a bit closer with some of these people? Because the bar is great. But it felt very much like you had worked directly with this person and you were just like, hey guys, this is my moment, time to praise.
Shout out to all the production, you know what I mean? They proment right there. They don't know what that is, production know what that is.
They do. Great moment from production. Heretics here pushing in. We talked about their power in the early game. They are trying to utilize it at level 1 just to get some vision in. Sheo is going to back away. They were met with a little bit of damage from Noah, who will also retreat. Looks like Lot's going to try and get a ward towards this red, and he will succeed in his mission to do so. Be spotted if he walks out of this bush. Kamiloo on a ward right now, but the ward giving him safety, he can just walk back towards mid.
Yeah, but crucially no sweeper either for Sheo, so he will be spotted, or at least kind of his tracking will be known to GX once he come up towards that red side. And as we mentioned earlier, knowing where this Zhao is really important to leverage Vi getting level 6. And there's a lane swap, and they will see it and they'll match it.
Yep. And that's the good thing about the Deep Vision, right? The ability to match it if you want to. It looks like it was Heretics who were initiating the lane swap here, matched by Noah and Jun. They want the 2v2. Probably, it's hard to say the best 2v2 bot lane we've had so far in the LEC this year, but I think Noah and Jun have been having a very strong performance after joining GIANTX.
I mean, I think Jun has been the best support, and I think Noah just having that pre-built synergy already from Fnatic moving over to GX now has really helped him really continue that strength in the bot side. So no, if someone said that they were the best bot lane right now, I think that's a fair argument.
It is a fair argument. We just can't make definitive statements, because there'll be that one guy who'll bring up that one clip from one moment that we missed, that they'll say, oh, but Noah this time he missed a cannon minion, Mikkel.
All right, I'll say then, week 1, best bot lane right there.
Okay, there we go.
That guy can call me out.
But Stend and Flakked hit level 2 first.
Oh, it's
GB.
almost like playing an AD carry with a range support gets easy priority. You should know this.
I do know this, and it's so painful to be the Rell in this sort of situation, because how do you ever step up to the wave? If you ever try and get close to get your Relic Shield stacks, your World Atlas stacks, all that happens, you get auto-attacked by Stend 3 times, he then puts out a handshake, and you're pulled back into the Flakked who's waiting to put his damage now.
But let's have a look at Sheo now. He's cleared 3 camps on his own blue side. He's moving in with the pressure from that bot lane we just saw. And there might be issues for Closer now.
Sheo looking for that smite. It was Closer who manages to secure it. He's been forced off his top side camps, and with the push from the double range of that Corki and that Renata, Sheo is going to go in and try and steal away this blue buff. Closer has no smite. Sheo has one of his own. Should be an easy enough secure. The question is, do Heretics look for more? They're holding the smite for now. Sheo won't use it. He could look for the Grump. In the end, we'll just take that blue and walk away. Yeah,
but holding that smite really made you worry the fact that they were going to take the Grump from Closer too. And honestly, that's just a bot diff right there, you know what I mean? There's pressure from a Renata, that's horrible. But I mean, there's nothing you can do there. I think it's just really good job by Team Heretics playing around the fact that they had that early priority.
And they've looked forward as well, with Flakked and Stend already pathing up towards the top side. Look at that lane swap. It would have been worse, obviously, if there had been a lane swap for GIANTX, because then Stend can spend a lot more time trying to go for that invade, knowing it's only Lot sitting under the tower in the top lane. But with these Australian lanes, Lot has been able to develop a small CS advantage over Carlsen on that Ambessa. Cassante still just ubiquitous in the meta right now, has been for the last 2 years.
I think it's really important that the GX bot lane just chills here, doesn't take any poke, because as of right now, Sheo is still clearing his red side, and Closer has to move down bot side. Oh my god, Jackies, no mana on Kamiloo!
No life on Jackies! Oh my dude.
That was puzzling.
That was puzzling. Closer's on his way across. Kamiloo still has the flash here.
Oh no!
Oh, he flashes into a wall!
Well...
Oh, no. They're living up to the name of the lane.
Right.
That was all mid.
That was that was very mid, yes. Up towards the top side, though. Need to be careful, because Sheo is around. He's putting on his recall. But yeah, right now, there's not a lot Closer could do on the top side. He needed to take the bot side scuttle as well. He may look to invade on enemy Grump spawn, but I think Sheo's going to get back in time, so he's just back in his own jungle now.
The overall sequence actually a little bit bad for Kamiloo. Obviously gets that kill. Noah pulled baah here. Flakked trying to put the damage down. Noah low on mana. One more auto would be enough, but they can't quite get it. Stend has been ignited. Chun trying to trade back in here, but can't get close enough to Stend or Flakked to put that final bit of damage down. Noah is running teleport, which will allow him to get back into this lane. As that wave crashes forward, he's going to lose a cannon's worth of experience for it.
Yeah, I mean, Jun, you can just hold this wave right now. They're too low to even contest it, and while Stend has that heal, you don't really want to take that risk getting solo killed by a Rell, so this is going to be a nice lane state.
That is, we'll see Jackie's going for this again. I wonder if he was looking for the shield off the E. Yeah, he's looking to go through Kamiloo. That gives you a shield if you connect with someone, doesn't get it, and then just dies for it.
Yeah, and I mean, Kamiloo as well. This is just, I mean, it's just a happy little oopsie. There's not much to say here. Expected the flash to come out for Closer at the same time. Closer's just holding it, and then that awkward short flash that Kamiloo made. Well, hold up, no flash mid lane.
It's the weakness of Kamiloo now. Without the flash on the Viktor, we talked about it in draft. He is susceptible to a lot. GIANTX get their second on the board.
Oh, and that's just rough. Closer doesn't even have level 6 yet, but once that 6 comes through from the Vi, you can just continue to return gank, return gang, return gang. So this mid lane right now can certainly be a point of attention for GX, but Grubs has been started by Sheo.
Looking for that first stack of the neutrals up towards the feats of strength. A reminder, you want to get first 3 kills, or first 2-3 kills. First to slay 3 epic monsters, 1 grub count. One grub count. All 3 of them counts as 1 towards the 3 epic monsters, and then first tower is the final one. Updated on this patch, so it looks like it is going to be 1 part of a feat each, as Closer will take the Drake in response for those grubs.
I do wonder if Closer will get contested here, because Carlsen has all the priority he needs down the bot side. Looks like that Stend is going to be recalling in that mid lane, and they're just going to trade that objective. But there was a small moment where they could have tried to create a man advantage around that Drake.
I think the risk was FLICKR being up in the top lane, not having TP. He was just catching that, now pushing it out. It's going to be matched by Lot, who will catch the wave as well. But it could have been a numbers disadvantage for Heretics if they had looked to take the fight. Both bot lanes are going to go back towards their assigned positions down in that bot side, and the top laners will match up in top again. The only real gold lead to speak of, anything more than 200 gold or so, is Jackie's in the mid lane because of that kill and the assist he was able to pick up on the first kill on Kamiloo.
Yeah, but I really think that's all you need to focus around until you get the next Crook up objective coming through. As soon as Closer's gotten that 6, as he has just gotten, you want to work off the priority that this GX bot lane is getting. Who can you find without summoner spells? Where can you find the pick potential? Rell, Varus, and Vi. Whoever you front hit in the beginning is just going to die.
Kamiloo still has no flash as well, so there's always the possibility of just going towards that mid lane, trying to isolate that Viktor. Heretics, though, should be able to get priority of their own, and now that they have their bot lane back down here, double range still having enough effectiveness that Noah and Jun have to respect Stend and Flakked, who clear out some vision. And with their jungler on the same side of the map, they can be a little bit more aggressive. Lot still doing a good job into Carlsen here. Tanks up a couple of tower shots, but the shield is up every moment, it seems, on that Cassante, so he's not going to take too much of his health as forfeit.
Yeah, the cooldowns aren't the most fair thing on that champion. But either way...
What is the most fair thing on that champion, Mikkel?
It's a great question that I can't answer.
Understandable. The fact that you can ban him, I guess.
That is very fair. He's not immune to any bans.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a spell. Oh, well, I guess he's invulnerable. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
The thing about him is he's just so safe when you blind him. He can do a lot of work in team fights, but so can Ambessa. And we get to see Carlsen bringing out a carry top laner for only the 2nd time this split, assuming you put Jax in that carry camp as well. See how much impact he can have. Currently, he's only been matching up into his lane opponent, so hasn't really had the opportunity to open himself up on the map. But I know that you've seen across the years how much impact he can have as a player.
No, absolutely. I mean, I've been looking at well, not looking at him, but I've been watching Carlsen play since he was 14. I mean, back then he was called fart control, which in Danish means speed control, nothing to do with farts. But yeah, I mean, he's really evolved after coming to that Astralis talent. I had the pleasure of every now and then speaking with the assistant coach as well to come over and see some of their scrims. And even back then, I heard so much high praise for this guy. So to see him so quickly go from a Danish league to the Nordic league to the Spanish league to then LEC immediately, I mean, what a journey to have.
It's a great journey for him. We'll see how much impact he can have in his rookie split here on the LEC. Currently top lane, or top side of the map, is the place both these teams are looking to have impact. Grubs up in less than a minute's time.
I will say, I don't know what's happened, but the fact that Cassante is so far ahead in CS is probably not the best right now. But, you know, just pointing that out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think Carlsen has more ability to get onto the back line than a Cassante does on the Ambessa just because of the ultimate, but it is going to be very tricky trying to dash through the front line and dash through the Emperor's Divide as well, which just separates teams as they get towards that team fighting stage. For now, though, GIANTX with about a 500 gold lead. Nash's Tooth finished on Jackie's, and those grubs, the next point of contest you have to feel.
Yeah, exactly, Medic, and I think that's the big spike to have there on Jackie's. Hold up, Loden.
Carlsen trying to dash away here, goes in with a public execution. He was trying to escape, manages to get to safety, but Lot is definitely winning that 1v1. On the bot side right now, Stend stepping forward, going to handshake Jun, who goes back in with the Magnet Storm, tries to dash away, the hostile takeover coming out as well, and Jun has to flash the wall. Wind becomes lightning, was just wide of Jun. He's able to survive for now. Meanwhile, in the bot side, Carlsen and Lot still bussing heads. In the end, it looks like Jun is just going to be able to get a reset off. What did we have exchanged? Crescent Guard was used by Sheo. Stend used the hostile takeover.
Here we go again.
With a Q3 again, but Carlsen is looking for the opportunity to trade back in. The Drake Hound step giving him that little bit of extra range that he needs to stay out of the clutches of Lot.
Yeah, and in the end, they're just both going to recall. Little greedy by Jun there as well. It was actually GX who didn't have the man advantage. Kamiloo had come through from the top side, so they almost managed to get that killed. In the end, though, they had to reset, and that means GX can actually get this grab.
Maybe their second of those neutrals towards the feat of strength. Dragon up in 40 seconds. TP coming out from Lot. Carlsen just resetting now. See if he's got his first completed item. Eclipse, I believe, is very powerful on Ambessa if you can get it. It's Aegis Giant spell. There's the Eclipse for Carlsen. Won't have his ultimate for a little while, so the next fight might be a little bit tricky for him to navigate, but it's only got about a quarter of the cooldown left on it.
Be back.
And he'll have a TP advantage, which is big. Lot is currently down on the bottom side. TP coming out from nowhere, actually, towards top. So I wonder if GIANTX want to fight around this Drake, or if they're just saying, okay, Ambessa, if you TP down, we're just going to have a lot of free time with that AD carry on top.
You got to hit Carlsen here, because you already traded the objective, so you're happy to give away this Drake. Just look at the minimap, the way that they're scouring around the top side here. You see Closer getting Raptors right now, getting a benefit from invading, and now Carlsen, no resources. He's the one with the TP, so no one's there to cover him if he were to get dived.
And that's why you see immediately Stend bases before the Dragon's even done, gets back, runs, beelines for this top lane. He's like, maybe I can help save Carlsen, because if you do give him the bailout, if you bring him back to life, he has that mobility to get back into the fight and maybe pick up a kill. 2 plates currently falling for GIANTX. Carlsen now stepping forward, but they will see Stend coming across. And so I don't think GIANTX will look for the dive. Would be greedy if they did. Would be miraculous if they managed it and got out with their lives.
Yeah, I mean, excellent point meeting. And now you're just seeing the map being split this late into the game. Sheo's taking care of the red side cams on the other side of the map to get what he couldn't get on his own side. But they might try and find him. Kazanti can chase him down. Closer's already coming in. Sheo does have flash, but if they spot him, this could be dire.
He's been spotted by that Scryer's Bloom. Closer's going to lock him down for now. Sheo going to get the knock up onto Closer. Flashes early. Jackie's worked his way all the way around towards the red camp. No follow-up from Closer. Did have that cease and desist, but decided not to go for the ultimate.
Man, that felt almost criminal that he got away there. That was 3 entrances that should have been covered out, but Jackie's kind of got caught in the middle and didn't have the dash over yet. And then, of course, 3-point strike into the flash away immediately before the Vi alternate could come through.
The risk as well for GIANTX was they didn't have any deep vision towards this blue side. This control was only just being placed in the river as well, so Heretics could have had 3 people just around the corner ready to react. They didn't, but GIANTX couldn't really know that, so it's how much do you want to invest when you've already got the flash out of Sheo. GIANTX willing not to invest anymore. Now trying to gain control of this blue side jungle. Sheo and Kamiloo will try and defend the tier 1 in the bot side. You do feel that the first turret blood or first tower being taken is going to be a big point towards those feats of strength, with it still only being 2-1 between these 2 teams, and honors even in terms of the neutrals.
Yeah, and right now they're just playing off wave flow and where they see their enemies. Carlsen was just out of vision. All right, as soon as he's back in topside, we try and invade a bit, see what we can get. But right now it's so difficult for anyone to pull off a dive, so we're really waiting for those big objectives fights before we really see the big team fights.
You're telling me I'm going to have to wait 2 whole minutes before we see a team fight?
This meta has been great for you. If this game goes any like the ones yesterday and what we've seen, you might be in for a 50-minute banger.
That's right? True, but I did also cast the day 1, game 1 rogue game, where it went 45 minutes and we had like 6 kills in the entire game. So you might be in for a bit of a slower one today as well, Mikkel.
Well, I'm happy to have one of the highest ranked casters right next to me then to help me through this analytical game.
TP behind here. Carlsen is going to try and dash around, but Jun can lock him up for a moment. Counter TP coming out. There's a Shadowing Strike. Carlsen flashes early. Jackie's comes in with the Emperor's Divide. Kamiloo's here, but he's a little late to the party. Jun takes the kill. GIANTX get their 3rd, and with it they get that portion of the feats of strength, and alongside it, with only a minute before the Rift Herald, they can set up control towards this top side.
Yeah, and it's not really that big of an investment. Yeah, you use the ultimates, but it's again Knight and TP, and you'll have that up for the next, well, still going to be 5 minutes, but you happily take that. Kamiloo, though, can get a bit chunked here, which would give GIANTX priority around that Herald.
A lot still pushing out bot. Carlsen would have to use TP if he's going to match that pressure, which gives GIANTX a lot of time towards the top side. A lot now moving away from that bot tower. Kamiloo does have the flash.
That's nice.
Sheo, there's the cease and desist going in from Closer as he looks to lock them up. Kamiloo diving towards the top side, but a lot with the TP behind, and now Stend is all caught out. GIANTX with their 2nd. They're looking for more. Well, the 2nd of this prolonged fight. They're looking for more. Kamiloo does still have the flash. Has to use it to get away from Closer, but lot's not done. Kamiloo's going to get pulled back alongside Sheo. A locked up Crescent Guard comes out, but I'm not sure it can guard you from the might of Kazanti. In the end, Lot and Closer will back away, but it's 5-1 in favor of GIANTX.
But Lot has been so damn impressive, not just mechanically right there, even with the knowledge. As soon as he saw Carlsen TP come through, he said, right, I'm joining you topside. That's the TP advantage we need. And they take the fight with a man advantage through Lot's aggression in bot lane.
Lot has been on absolute fire coming into the league. We heard Finn talking about him obviously in Ready Check earlier on and showing why he is a player to be talked about right now. The rest of GIANTX teaming up well as well. You have to give credit to Closer's been in the right position, the right time. Jackie's as well has been involved in 4 of their 5 kills. But now with Drake up in 42 seconds, it looks like GIANTX are going to wrest control of the spot side out of Heretics' hands.
Ultimate's back up for Jackie's as well, so you still have a lot of fighting capabilities. The buy ultimate is not too far either. Just playing through that pressure once again. It's so simple for GIANTX. They get mid lane priority, they move it into the jungle, and they force their opponent out.
Also shows where GIANTX's priorities are. They took the tier 1 in the top side, chased for a couple of kills, then backed off the Rift Herald entirely to try and control down towards the Drake. Lot finds Sheo, and the rest of GIANTX are like, oh, maybe we can make a fight happen around here. I feel it was a little greedy, but all the while, Jackie's is pushing through bot. He's got a tier 1 there. He's looking for a tier 2 as well. GIANTX do give up some control. They lose the Rift Herald, but they are going to get pressure through bot.
What's the aura in this guy? I mean, he's walking up alone. 4 members of Team Heretics has to come in and defend the plate. Yes, the rest of GX comes afterwards. But as you said, Medic, that allows Jackie to get that bot side turret. So slowly but surely, you're getting these outers.
In the end, the Rift Herald is a possibility of a tower later on, or a possibility of 2. I'll take the tower over it every day of the week, especially when you already have the feats of strength for your team by taking first turret and being the first team to 3 kills. Now they'll get their second Drake on the board, and everything is coming up GIANTX so far. For Heretics, again, a struggle of an early game, especially for Kamiloo. That flash burn, where he didn't get over the wall for the second kill of the game, really has cost him a lot because they were able to punish him, and they've continued to burn that flash at every opportunity.
I will say, Team Heretics, in general, hasn't had very good early games.
Yeah.
Where they found their victories has often been through, you know, soaking up that pressure that's coming through and actually remaining cool, calm, and collected, finding ways to come back into the game. Is it a good strategy for a team to always find behind and then find your victories in a combat? No, but with a team of 3 rookies with absolutely 0 expectations upon them, the fact that they're already sitting on 2 wins, I mean, that's really good for them.
I've got to give them credit for where they are currently, but in this game state, falling behind is gigabad, right?
I will agree with that.
Like, they're playing against 2 strong tanks, a very solid teamfight composition, and Azir who's already at 1.5 items with those Triumphant Boots as well. A Varus who's at 2 items with that Manamune going all the way up towards the Muramana, needs about 90 more stacks on it. Like, GIANTX are very strong, and in team fights, I take their composition every day of the week.
I totally agree with you. Oh, hold up. But I also think it's the context of the expectations there were of Team Heretics. I mean, if they get top 8, I'm bringing out the champagne, dude. That's a success for me with the roster right now. But as you said yourself, game's not over, and this is where they need to stabilize. This is what they were so good at doing. They did had a smolder yesterday, which made it a bit easier, but Viktor is still a strong champion on the patch.
Oh, very powerful as it scales up. Chain of Corruption going wide there from Noah. It was more fishing than anything, I feel. You can do bow fishing. I see people in Canada do it from time to time. Usually you attach a rope to the end of the arrow, though, and they can't pull the Chain of Corruption back after you have unleashed it. So Noah still has a little bit to learn about fishing strategies if he's going to continue to do that.
Yeah, it's not as easy as just playing jacks and fishing in the early game. Stend, though, fishing, finding Closer.
Varus is going to get pulled back here with a handshake. Hostile takeover coming out as well, and Closer was very greedy here. Flakked needs another auto or a missile. Doesn't have one in the tank, but he gets the auto for the shutdown. That was bad from Closer, I'm going to put it out there. Just a little greedy fighting for vision where he didn't need to.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not even that much of an objective up, but it's kind of the pattern of the game. Mid lane priority into jungle pressure. This time around, though, the blue buff had already been stolen away. So yeah, not much to stick around for, and as you say, Closer getting punished.
The good thing for for GIANTX is that they don't have any objectives really that are going to be fought over right now. There's no Drake, there's no Baron. Artican has spawned, but Heretics aren't going to just pull the trigger on an Artican because they managed to kill off Closer. We'll have another look at it here. You can see Jun going for the recall. Closer starts his recall, then just hits Stend, and it's like, where are the men? Where are your teammates?
But I think it's really good presence of mind for Stend. Like, even though there could be someone in that bush, you just saw the Rell recall, so you know no matter what, you will have that man advantage. So I respect that he's just walking into that bush.
I mean, good stuff from Stend. We can agree on that. Yeah. Every good play has an element of misplay on the other side.
But I think that is League of Legends in general. Like, sometimes
true.
the best League of Legends team is the team that makes the fewest amount of mistakes. But it is very human to make mistakes, especially in League of Legends.
getting more philosophical now, especially in League.
I mean, how many times have you seen someone run it down and you flame? I mean, we don't flame people.
Obviously not.
But then everyone runs it down themselves. I'm just saying that this is an extremely difficult game. Even FLICKR fail flashed earlier. Well,
that is true.
So, yeah.
He does. If even FLICKR can falter, what hope is there for the rest of us, I guess, is what we're saying.
Who's getting philosophical now?
So true. GIANTX still controlling the bot side of the map. A minute 20 before the next Drake. It is Atakan. And unsurprisingly, red one's Voracious, right? I always forget the colors. Pretty sure that's Voracious Atakan.
Yeah, it is, because it doesn't make sense to me that it's Voracious, because I feel like it's been a slow game, so why is it so Voracious? But
well, okay, so Voracious is hungry, right?
Oh, yes.
So
which I totally knew when I said that. Right.
So it's Voracious, it's like, give me more action, which is why you get the Voracious Atakan.
Right. So far, Rift Tower getting spawned in mid lane. Let's see what happens here.
Well, the tower is going to die as Heretics secure it, and that looks to be all they wanted out of the push. So they have used their Rift Tower to get a tower. They were even out on 2 towers apiece. Now they'll try and use the pressure they got from that mid lane to get some vision down towards this bottom side, or at least that's where the pings were for now. You can see Carlsen flanking, but might end up finishing this recall. Has the Black Cleaver and the Eclipse. He's in a strong position, as are all of Heretics when you look across the board. Redemption, Triforce, Manamune, Liandry's, Blackfire, Torch, Sundered Sky, 2 Black Cleavers and an Eclipse. They are strong. It is matched on the other side with 2 items apiece across the board for GIANTX.
Yeah, and Jackie's has already upgraded his boots as well to the Spell Slingers, I believe. So that's an early upgrade, but I will say Sorks is one of the few where they actually give you a lot. And if you want a power spike right before an objective, you couldn't afford anything better. That's a good buy.
It's a lot of magic penetration and not a lot of magic resist on the enemy team. In fact, I don't really see an item that gives magic resist at all for Heretics right now.
Here come some of the issues with Team Heretics composition. Who face checks for you? Because while Carlsen does look a bit tanky, it's all HP. There's no resistance here. Oh wow, Stend's not having a good time either. Noah's fighting a lot of those arrows. That's point and click right now, and just because of that poke alone, they're just going to be forfeiting the objective.
Yeah, the Drake will definitely go over to GIANTX. Obviously, tanking up the Atakan as well does reduce your resistances, so they're not going to do that yet. They'll take their 3rd dragon of the game, putting themselves on soul point. Will Heretics look to play around this bot side? Will GIANTX decide to go for Atakan? The answer currently is no. Heretics just going to catch the wave. And actually, with Flakked and Stend coming across here, and GIANTX starting up the Atakan, it looks like Heretics might want a piece of this action. You do feel if they don't win this fight, it's a slow bleed out from here. Kamiloo looking for that flank position, flashes up across the board, apart from Flakked. Jun has that flash engage possibility. Lot going in, gets the lockup onto Kamiloo. The cease and desist coming out as well as Kamiloo's forced to flash to the rest of his team. Atakan's patience ran out. Not enough action happening for them.
That was a perfect flank. Why was no one there to follow up on that? Why wasn't that communicated? He was behind them. I feel like Kamiloo should have been 100% dead there. But Atakan is starting up again. And resets has come through from Team Heretics.
They have a double TP, but it looks like they're just giving up the ghost on Atakan. It will be secured by GIANTX. Stend puts a bit of vision down. Now a couple of pings coming out. Kamiloo's still pathing up towards top. It does have that teleport. Teleport coming out from Lots as he's going to act as a bouncer. That Atakan's already gone. Sheo locked up by Jun. Atakan secured by GIANTX, and now they have the false life, and they can take the fight to Heretics. The knockback with the Empress Divide on Kamiloo. Sheo's locked up as well. GIANTX looking for more. They'll find 2 so far. Stend flashes away, but Noah's still there for the chase, and I'm not sure Stend is going to stand much longer. A double for Noah. GIANTX just sweep away Heretics in the river.
Oh, it's a horror. Team Heretics finally crumbles. TP's coming through after the objective's gone down, then the fight. And to make matters worse, as you rightly found out, Baron is spawning.
Well timed by GIANTX. Looks like they're just going to start up the Baron immediately. Lot doesn't have TP, but he is recalling because they see Carlsen in the bot side. They see Flakked in mid. It's like, is Flakked really going to be able to fight against us here? Getting the Voracious Atakan just allowed Lot to dive in immediately, distract Heretics, and the rest of GIANTX collapsed on the top side and got themselves now a 5,000 gold lead.
I mean, GX is just playing the composition so well. They're playing around that poke that you see from Noah. And I mean, he's kind of gotten hidden with his performance here. I mean, that Change of Corruption did miss, but all of his other Qs, they've been crucial in terms of buying space. Vi ulting with a corpse, hadn't seen that one before, but I guess that looked cool. And at this point, it's just too late for Team Heretics.
It was Closer distracting the team, not Lot that time, but both of them doing a great job of just making sure that Heretics never really have an avenue to play the fight. And we talked about it a little bit in draft, right? Heretics in skirmishes have a lot of power, but they do not have hard engage. They don't have great disengage either. It's so difficult for them to play a fight unless GIANTX full send into them and then Stend pops the hostile takeover.
It absolutely is. And it's not like they didn't try to invade this Vi while she was in level 6, but they just couldn't get the early leads that they needed. And then GX has just been playing a fantastic game. They have been the guys that had priority in mid lane, moved that around again and again and again. And I mean, it's hard for Team Heretics now. You feel like it's already over.
And it's clean from GIANTX, 26 minutes in with Baron. They are pushing in the doors. That false life about to come off. Just a moment. Jun gets a little bit more of the buff. As now we see the inhibitor falling. They still have the Baron remaining. GIANTX will look for their second inhibitor as well. I feel like the force life should have fallen off by now, but obviously my timing is slightly wrong.
I'd love a timer
It's
for it.
still going on, right? Jun goes in for the engage. Magnet Storm onto Kamiloo. There's a Shadowing Strike. What you gonna do, Viktor? Sent back to the Arcane, sent packing by GIANTX. It is clean,
Oh
it is
my
methodical, a public execution is not even gonna connect. Hostile takeover only hits onto Lot, although he's been doing a bunch of work this game. I don't think it matters too much. The false life finally falls off as Jackie's does get sent back to the fountain, but the reset comes out. And Heretics are 2 inhibitors down. And they are looking at a long road back into this game.
I mean, this is going to be so difficult for them. They're going to need a miracle. They're 2 inhibitors down, as you say, so they're going to be fighting against super minions. And what's that going to do? Well, that's going to make it harder for them to contest on the next dragon. Spawning in 50 seconds would be sold for GX.
I think we can say will be sold for GX right now.
Oh, wow, can we?
Unless there's some crazy steal from Sheo. I think GIANTX are just dotting the T's and crossing the I's right now.
A bit of predicting casting, I like that.
Yes, that's predictive casting.
Yes, absolutely.
I predict that GIANTX will get 50 extra gold at the end of this game.
Oh, wow. I think they're going to win this one.
The fact that you get 50 gold for the Nexus kind of implies that there is some sort of extra Nexus shop that you can spend your money on, as we see Sheo dying. And yeah, I think it's going to be hard to contest Drake now.
I would agree. Unless, I mean, I've seen Piglet steal a Baron one time with like a Corki rocket.
Yeah. I've seen Gumayushi steal one as well with a Varus Q.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sadly for Team Heretics, the Varus is on GX right now.
That is true.
That would make it very difficult.
Yeah, and the fact they have to defend topside in a 4v3.
Yeah.
Closer and Jackie's will take the Drake. It will be sold for GIANTX. And now Heretics, you're just setting up bushes. I like it. Yeah, it's what you have to do. You find a small pocket of vision where you can get a small pocket of vision, and you try and find a pick, but your engage tools aren't there. You don't have easy hard CC, only the handshake really. So if GIANTX are on the other side of this and they were trying to defend, they have many more ways to pull the trigger to go in for the fight, but Heretics don't really have that option at their disposal. Carlsen's going to try and catch a couple of waves, and I will say the Ambessa experiment, I'm not going to say it's failed, but it hasn't really
done anything
this game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's his fault.
No, I mean,
I'm going to stress.
It's hard to say, right? Team Heretics is players from all different systems coming into this one as well, so building up an identity can be difficult. Also, hard to actually come Jackie's!
Oh, Jackie's, you absolute beauty! He slides 3 back and it's all done. Sheo trying to escape, but what can you do in the face of so much hate? Only Carlsen survives. He gets the shutdown, he flashes away, but Lot's having none of it. He'll chase Carlsen back down, Noah walks away from it. And in the end, GIANTX will get the ace. Closer will secure it, and the Nexus will fall alongside it. Noah TP's in just to add a little bit of salt on the wound. GIANTX will be 4-1 at the halfway mark of the split.
Yeah, that's just a fantastic performance from GIANTX. I mean, pretty much everyone got their lane counters, so really hard for Team Heretics. I think their draft, as we already said ourselves, with the lack of engage, was a bit hard to pull off. You have to be extremely creative, find some insane flanks to make that work, and I mean, as soon as GIANTX started being the one with the priority, it's really difficult finding those flanks because the vision will just be there to spot you out.
Yeah, and everyone on GIANTX had great games as well. You can vote for your key player of the game, Jackie's, Noah, or Jun. I feel like Jackie's probably going to jump up in the votings just because of the final play, but he had a good game all round as well.
I mean, I would actually give it to Noah a lot. Actually, I think they had a phenomenal performance too, and I mean, Noah was just hitting OP with all his arrows. He was securing them those objectives.
He had a great game all round. We're going to go to a quick break, and afterwards, Ginny is standing by with Jun and Noah.
Welcome back to the LEC on Giniro June at the Marriott Bonvoy post-game chicken. Another win. Yes, you guys have been amazing. I would love to ask the same question, really. I will start with you, Noah. How has it been being on GX? What's it like for you?
I mean, I think it's like new challenge. I mean, I like this environment is different, so it's good to have another teammate and another environment. So like I can improve other things, so it's good too.
You guys had fun with the red lights, green light game, yeah?
Yeah, it was fun, yeah.
You didn't win.
I mean, did well, yeah.
So how are you finding it on GX?
I mean,
Has it been like a new environment? Like, have you been enjoying the friendly vibes?
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Do you guys get to do like a lot of things together outside of the game? Do you maybe go out for dinner together? Or is it just practice?
Sometimes,
Yeah?
not always.
I mean, June doesn't like to go outside that much.
You want to stay inside
Yes.
and just play League? What's been your favorite moment so far with the GX team? What have you been enjoying? Besides the winning, you know? I know the winning is nice.
I mean, I think we don't have yet because it's just start, you know. So,
Yeah.
But it's good to have time with GX, like this practice process and doing good, you know. So.
And what about the fans? Are you guys happy
I
with
like
the
fans,
support?
yeah.
And you know?
Same.
Yeah, well, thank you both so much for the time for the interview. We are ready to head over. So Laure is standing by and she will be taking it away.
Thank you.
Well, thank you to Noah and June, and thank you, Ginny, of course. Absolutely wholesome interview from them, and also nice comeback from GX compared to the game they had yesterday. But Finn, this is what you want to see from a team like this who aims to be at the top.
Yeah, coming into the day, the expectation is that GX is just going to roll over Heretics. They are the stronger team on paper. We've seen great stuff from them, and we need to keep seeing these kinds of... we need to see them keep growing.
Yeah.
We need to see them do more than they've shown. Because yesterday, I think it wasn't the best showing from them.
I think coming into the splits, expectations were mixed around what this GIANTX roster would look like. And after the start to the split with their 3-0 start, expectations immediately started to rise, right? And as you rightly said, should have been a stomp. It kind of was a stomp, and I kind of want to start with the draft. Because when we see them drafting up against Heretics, my expectations was initially that they would go for kind of matching in this teamfight style, but we were talking extensively about these drafts and how, while we're seeing it a lot in the LEC, this kind of style, one of the things that stood out to me that we talked a lot about yesterday was the takeaway of the Vi Ambessa combo, prioritizing the Vi with the Cassante, and also the way in which these fights are expected to play out.
Yeah, it's really funny because I came into this draft thinking that, oh, we're going to see team fights. Only team fights. There's a lot of team fight mechanics you have to focus in on. But when I actually watched the game unfold, what happened in every single objective setup is that Noah is just poking out all of Heretics every single time. They want to approach, oh, we don't have any health in our mid laner. We want to approach, oh, our jungler is at 40%. And every time they just are too low before the objective every single time. And I think just kudos to Noah, the way he manages to snipe them every single time with his arrows.
And we have been talking about the predominance of range and the advantage it gives Vedius, especially in some specific setups. I know that teams were fumbling around Arakan last week. I feel like teams got better this week.
I definitely feel so. Leveraging range seems to be the name of the game. The LCK have been dominant at it, and while I don't think the LEC is as effective, it feels like that when they're properly set up around objectives, GIANTX demonstrate a fantastic way of how to utilize that poke. And we have hopefully a bit of a long clip to show people at home because it demonstrates how you can leverage your range to play around these neutral objectives.
Well, I would love to see this from Heretics' point of view almost, because they're so blind. They know the threat of Atakan is very real, and they need to all focus in through this little tight choke point. You see Kamiloo tries to get an angle, but he ends up getting caught and losing his flash. When your Viktor doesn't have his flash, it makes it so hard to play, because now suddenly the threat of the Vi, the threat of the Azir shuffle is just so very real, and it makes it almost impossible for Heretics to actually face check this.
The thing that stands out to me is the way in which GIANTX continuously keep those waves pushed in. There is non-stop pressure. The moment that they stop skirmishing in the jungle, it's back to the waves. They quickly reset. They TP back in. All the while Atakan is being started. It feels like Heretics is being attacked from multiple angles.
Yeah, and I love what Noah is doing, because most AD carries, they will default to that wave, but they actually send their top laner and their mid laner for this wave, so Noah can keep standing in these bushes and keep shooting his arrows every single time they want to walk in. And here you see Heretics just really wants to walk in. They're so desperate. They don't want to give Arakan, but in the end they just take so much damage and they just end up losing the fight as a result.
And not even being able to come back. And when you look at the domination on the side of GX today compared to what they play against MKOI yesterday. What is the understanding of the team right now, especially matching up against G2 tomorrow?
I just find that GIANTX is a very smart team. They're incredibly patient. The way their communication seems to work is just phenomenal. And I feel like that you're seeing the aggression that this bot lane learned from Fnatic, tying to what I feel is just cold calculation from the side of Closer. And this jungle support synergy is truly fantastic and a joy to watch.
I love that you use the word patience, because I really think that is what it. They have so much delicacy in their play, and they never rush things. They always take their time. This play at Atakan, they started 1.5 minutes before they actually took the buff. So they just always take their time, and they really know when to just hone into an area and just don't leave that, because they know the enemy eventually has to face check.
And it feels like all the players have their moments to shine. You talked about Lot on the top lane. We've talked about the bot lane, of course. Jackie gets the Kia player of the game today. So we're going to forget the oopsies of the early game, but amazing performance on the team.
I will say he kind of robbed it a little bit there. I feel like Jackie's, he did have a good game, but yeah, I feel like there were some other members that maybe we could have highlighted. This bot lane continues to shine for me, but well-deserved ultimately. The team is on an upward high, and I think that they're going to have another challenging test. They lost yesterday, they won today. G2 tomorrow is going to be an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah, and if they can keep this momentum rolling and beat G2, then we really start increasing these expectations. How far can this GX team go? We have seen rookies before come in and dominate the league. I know Jack is not a rookie, but he has come in pretty recently, and him and Lot together as a solo lane core, I think it's very exciting.
Let's see if they can bring in hope tomorrow. But that's all for us here for now. We'll be testing to a quick break, but afterwards, we're back for more League of Legends. SK Gaming versus Vitality is next.
He doesn't like that. Look at him, he's a good boy, but he don't like that.
Maybe we could play some A rounds or something like that. I mean, this is map, right? New towers, new objectives.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Red Bull gives you wings. Oh.